stepping into my power, I guess, as man, is sort of coming up as a real need. Step out into the world and express myself. So suddenly life's just gone, because like I can move in any direction creatively. I'm also finding there is some fear around the kind of heights I could take it to.
Or depths.
Or depths, yeah.
The way of your life. As such, there is no limit to any of us. But that which determines your step is that which brings you joy. So out of that willingness to embrace the enjoyment of moving with exactly that creational and creative force, that will basically determine where you move. And in that, as you can see, you only need the next step. Obviously, because once you've taken that step, the next step will be clearer because you've taken that step. And what I'm witnessing is that there's just like this, it's like the deeper and stronger the love, the more this love can actually move across any field. It's like seeing the power of creation being able to move with the knowing that everything is the same, being able to apply the same logic of that potentiality every which way. So what there's a call for there is like an allowing the human being to round up with what is the case right now. Because if we try to it's like then it's almost like we can stand still, because it feels like the energy can be like going in 7 different directions. While actually, if you embrace that which brings you joy right now, it doesn't mean either that there can't be a movement between different alleyways, and then back to the first one, and then the second one, and the first one, and the third one, and then the second one, and the first one again. Yeah, but the willingness to sit down and focus, or get up and focus, like the willingness to allow that endless capacity to express itself as pure brilliancy, the willing to let that happen, and the willingness to let the body open to that, and even inside of that, to be gentle, compassionate, because once that energy starts streaming through the body, it's like the body will, like, how do I stand stable in this? And over time it will stand stable in it. But in my experience, it's like it doesn't matter which alleyway is touched, the same level of detail pertaining anything that is involved with whatever alley of my choice reveals itself in that alley. And then it's only about winding up and rounding up the human's ability to allow the opening to that concentration, which then becomes the expression. See? Because basically, when it comes down to it, once we touch that base of the pure potentiality, actually we have access to all of the knowledge that ever was. And if we can let go enough of the mind, then actually everything we need to know in every moment is right there. Even when we venture into engaging with things which we know nothing about, then the details, the wisdom, the knowing, it just arrives. That which holds people back is obviously the fear of the surrender which is required. You see, because if we completely surrender to a movement from life going on like that, then in some sense we lose our minds. We lose that controlling instance in our minds, because that is the only way that we can make way for that creative force. So we die a little bit in allowing that. Yeah. And then a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, until that creative force is actually able to stand top to toe through our being. And there are also different levels in this, I would say, because it's like, what is creativity? And it's like, creativity can be, can happen on so many levels, in a way. And it might be on some artistic level, or it might move further and further in terms of the deeper your knowing with reality is, the higher a level of creativity you actually handle in that potentiality. I'm actually talking about the reality that the deeper that you know, the deeper that you surrender to that creativity, that creational force, the stronger your knowing becomes. The stronger your knowing is, the higher levels of play you get to engage in. So the more that you know that this is all nothing, the more you know that all of this is bendable, then your lanes of creativity are likely to take different alleys, yeah? It's a lot of fun. It's just play. The whole thing's just one big play. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like life doesn't really begin until we agree to let truth happen, you know? Yeah.